Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to a packed-out Ostsee's Stadion here on the Baltic north coast of Germany. This is match day 9 in the German Dritte Liga, and an East German derby for you here tonight as Hansa Rostock play host to Energie Cottbus, with the hosts having lost all 4 of their previous meetings over the last 9 years, scoring just 2 goals, conceding 11, including here on match day 37, a 3-1 loss, which really put Rostock out of the running for promotion last season. Indeed, they lost their last game of the campaign as well. Now, Daniel Brinkman has made 2 changes to the side that drew 1-1 against Helvelsa at the weekend. Ryan Naderi in for Emil Hulten up top. Also, Nico Neidhart comes in for the suspended Ahmet Gurleyen after his 9th minute sending off with a straight red in that match. That means that Kenan Fatkic drops into defence from midfield. And a bit of a reshuffle around those midfield places sees Maximilian Kraus, a former Cottbus player, more on him later, moving into a more central position. Also, Andreas Volkshammer returns from a calf injury he picked up on match day 1. He, though, only fit enough for a place on the bench. Well, rousing reception there for Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, as you might expect here on a derby day. Plenty of juice between these two sides. Now, Klaus-Dieter Wollitz has made 3 changes to the side that thrashed Stuttgart last time out 5-0. Wautry Grant comes back into the defence for for Tim Kampulka as he returns from suspension. Lucas Mitchellbrink and Moritz Hannemann come into attacking midfield. Yanis Boziaris and Anderson Lukiki, the left back, dropping to the bench. That means Axel Borgman, the captain, drops to left back from midfield. So, the scene is set. Certainly the support is going to be passionate tonight. There is Maximilian Kraus, who rather controversially moved here in the summer. Indeed, was suspended from the Cottbus squad at the end of last season over what Klaus-Dieter Wollitz felt was dishonesty regarding his summer move. His contract was up in the summer. Be very interesting to see just what sort of reception Kraus gets from his former teammates. Certainly, though, didn't seem to be much love lost when he was leaving at the end of last season. So the captains come up here, Hans Fanner and Axel Borgman. Our referee tonight, Timo Ganslevit, with Mary Hildenbrand and Tobias Severins, the men with the flags. Ben-Heri Urig in charge of the technical area as tonight's 4th official. Well, the crowd here at the Ostsee's Stadion, so always passionate, famous for it in fact. Absolutely belting out their theme tune ahead of the kick-off, which is due to commence any moment now. The overall record between these two sides, Rostock 11 wins, 10 draws, 11 wins for Cottbus. Here at the Ostsee's Stadion, well, Rostock has 7 wins, 6 draws, just the 3 losses, including the last 2 in a row. Matchday 37 here last season, 3-1 to Cottbus. Eric Engelhardt, Timmy Thieler and Lucas Capado with the goals to put the visitors 3 up in that game before an Alexander Rossipal consolation goal in the 55th minute. Cottbus also winning the return fixture earlier that season by 3-1 as well. Maximilian Kraus, in fact, amongst the goal scorers in that one. Ryan Naderi with the only goal for Rostock. He is brought back into the starting lineup tonight. So about to get underway. Long ball incoming, I think, down the left from Cottbus. Wautry Grant, in fact, bringing the ball up, but his pass intercepted. You can expect midfield to be tight, and the ball given away early doors here by Cottbus, and a chance for Rostock to get in behind. Running through on goal. Well, Cedric Arenbrook perhaps should have done better there. The defence just parted like the Red Sea here in the first minute. Ball sloppily given away by Cottbus at the back. Not the best of starts for the visiting side. King Manu just clearing that one down the line, giving the visitors a chance to reset, I think. Fantastic scenes in the stands, of course. And the question is, can Rostock start to provide something on the pitch as well? Now Kraus getting in behind down the left-hand side, puts the ball across the 6-yard box, just slightly too far ahead of Naderi. Clearance weak down the line. Dietz dances past one. Can't get past the second. Nice turn from Naderi. Arenbrook back to Dietz. Neidhart lobbing the ball forwards. So it's a quite attacking lineup here from Cottbus as Dietz gets in behind. Shrugs off King Manu. Ball still not out. Naderi puts the ball across goal, and oh, I was about to say that's the opener. How has he missed that? Kenan Fatkic. Unmarked, what, 6 yards out, 7 yards out? Have a look here, the ball not cleared by Cottbus. Strong play here from Dietz, shrugging off King Manu. His first attempt blocked. Naderi put the ball across goal, and then Fatkic, the Slovenian centre-back, keeper going the wrong way, and he's put that just the wrong side of the upright. Cottbus here could already be down by 1 or 2 goals in just the first couple of minutes. Now Sigurci gets on the ball, trying to get one into Engelhardt, but he was just moving the wrong way as that smoke drifts across the box here. I think Benjamin Uphoff suggesting that his vision is slightly impaired at this stage. Ooh, depends on the wind direction, of course, coming in from the east this evening. And I think Cottbus would be quite happy to have a little stop here and just a regroup. Let's say it's an attacking side. They got the back four, yes, but just Dominic Pelavan really screening in front. And then you look at the rest of the midfield, Lucas Mitchellbrink and Moritz Hannemann, not exactly the most defensive of midfielders. And then there's a proper front three in front of them with Timmy Thiele and Eric Engelhardt. Tolkai Sigurci filling in the gaps behind them. Let's have a look here at, that was the first chance, the ball put through. Herenbrock pouncing on it, but only able to put his shot straight at Marius Funk, who was well positioned there. And the second chance moments later, even better for Kenan Fatkic. Of course, this time will be added on to the tail end of this first half. The time lost here. Daniel Brinkman needs to try and unlock some sort of attacking verve in his side. Just 5 goals scored in 8 games this season from Hansa Rostock. That's the same as Schweinfurt, by the way, down at the bottom of the table. Everyone else has scored at least 2 or 3 goals more than that. On the bright side, defensively, they have been good. Just the 7 goals conceded. Only Osnabrück with 5 goals conceded. They've conceded fewer so far this season. Cottbus very much at the other end of the scale on both counts. 18 goals scored. Same as Saarbrücken and Hoffenheim, only Duisburg have more. By the way, Saarbrücken at home to Duisburg tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on that scoreline, I can assure you. 11 goals conceded as well, with only Duisburg, Cologne, Rostock and Osnabrück conceding fewer. So Klaus-Dieter Wollich's side very much moving in the right direction. And that smoke going across the pitch is getting worse, not better, isn't it? So Thiele working his way back to full fitness after missing the start of the season. Yet to find the net this campaign, the number 7. But that's okay. Tolkai Sagurci, 5 goals, 4 assists already. Eric Engelhardt with 4 goals as well. Moritz Hannemann in behind with another couple as well. And the players just keeping warm. It's only about 10 degrees out there and getting colder through the evening. Very little wind, so have to wonder how long this smoke is going to continue to hang around the pitch. It could be a while before it actually clears, you know. The other games going on this evening, so I've already talked about Saarbrücken at home to Duisburg, second at home to first, top of the table clash. Other than that, we've got 11th place Stuttgart 2 at home to 7th place Ferhen Wiesbaden. 19th place Hervelsa, who bagged a point here at the weekend, at home to 12th place Waldhof Mannheim, who've been consistently inconsistent at the start of this campaign. So to Alemannia Aachen, who 13th place in the table at the moment. They're at home to Erzgebirge Aue, a side who have really struggled at the beginning of this season. Erzgebirge Aue, they have managed to scrape a couple of wins, but 5 losses already. But the middle of the table is so tight. Energie Cottbus coming into the game 3rd in the table. Hansa Rostock 15th. Only 4 points between them, though. A win for Hansa Rostock here, and they could go flying up the table. They will, though, have to find the back of the net, which, judging from the first opening few minutes here, might be easier said than done. Now, often when the vision's impaired like this, it looks worse on camera than it actually is down at pitch level. Usually, at least. But it's been, what, a good 5 minutes now that we've lost. No real sign of the smoke dissipating at the moment. They've probably got a whole load more of those things to go at the beginning of the second half as well. This could be fun. See that camera down at ground level there, showing it still pretty smoky. Under normal circumstances, the referee has to have a clear view of both linesmen. I must say, it looks clear enough to play now, surely. Certainly that high-up camera suggesting so. And the low-down camera again, suggesting perhaps not. I think the referee about to get things back underway here. So we've lost at least 5 or 6 minutes, which is all going to be added on at the end of this first half. And really have to hope we don't have too much more in the way of pyrotechnics. At least in the stands anyway. As the game goes on. So finally, back underway. A bit of a miss kick there from Uphoff. Victor Berg just lets that ball go out of play. Throw in for Rostock. And back to Uphoff. Carsten's getting a few touches at the back. Now he rolls a good ball forwards. It's just laid off there by Harenbrock. Now Mitchellbrink makes the interception, but can't find a teammate. Very scrappy from Cottbus so far. But now trying to get in behind here is Neidhart. The flag stays down. He crossed though. It's a slight deflection off of Borgman. Safely into the hands of Marius Funk. Certainly clearer at the Cottbus end of the pitch. Nice flick on there. Timmy Thiele trying to get in behind, but his touch a little bit loose, allowing Rostock to claim back possession. Now a ball clipped over the top. Florian Carstens comes over. Looks like he's going to unleash his long throw here. Just move some of the advertising out of the way. The big lads come up from the back. Here comes the long throw into the near post, but slightly over the top of Fanner, but put out for the Rostock corner. First of the game goes to the hosts. Good atmosphere being produced by both sets of fans. It's about a 3.5 hour drive north up from Cottbus up here to the Baltic coast. Schuster whips one into the near post. Oh, Kraus got a touch on it, but can only deflect it backwards. Goes all the way back to Uphoff. All the big lads still up there. Big line of blue. Long ball goes forward, but strong defending there from Borgman. Doesn't allow the opposition player to get in behind, and that goes out for a goal kick. Well, Cottbus absolutely flying at the weekend against Stuttgart too. 5-0 winners there, helped by an early goal as well, and then Stuttgart had to slightly open up, and really we're getting ripped apart on the counter-attack. Henry Rohrig also contributing with a beautifully taken direct free kick. Trying to combine down the left there, Rostock, but that pass is slightly too far ahead of Victor Berg, the Swedish full-back, wing-back. Volitz will want to see Cottbus just try and get their foot on the ball and try and control some of the game. Unnecessary foul given there for the challenge on Neidhart. Klaus-Dieter Volitz already up on his feet. Flick on there from Engelhardt, not quite reaching Thiele. There's nothing sticking for Cottbus at the moment. Now Borgman finally finds a little bit of space. His pass in to Engelhardt, nicely laid off, and now Sigurdschi finds a little bit of space and spreads the ball out to Rohrig over on that right-hand side, faced by Berg. Rohrig, his cross blocked. Had space to try and whip one in on the left, but of course at his weaker side. Sigurdsson just under pressure from Berg, takes a slightly heavy touch, that goes out for a Rostock throw. And the attempted clearance charged down for a goal kick. Looks like Victor Berg has just picked up a little bit of a knock there, shouldn't stop him from carrying on though. Rostock did well at the weekend against Hansa with Ahmet Gürleyen given a straight red in the 9th minute. Then had to try and come back into that game with only 10 men, and they managed to do it and could even have won it at the death as well, but it wasn't a game of many chances. Given away again, but a heavy touch. Cottbus not at the races at all so far. 16 minutes in, they've hardly put 2 or 3 passes together. Dietze back on the ball again after a deflected pass. Now turning on the ball. Here's Fanner. Neidhart on this near side. Cuts back in. There's more support out on that right. Harenbroek with the cross. Finds Kraus. Back to Kraus again. He'd love to score, I bet, against his former side. Shot comes in. Deflects. Neidhart has the ball taken off his toes as he tried to pull the trigger. Far too easy for Rostock at the moment. Certainly as far as Cottbus are concerned. I say, there's a lot of attacking players out on the pitch for Energie Cottbus, so not really a team set up to defend. They prefer to be going forwards. Now Kraus is going forwards. His attempted pass half intercepted. Borgman on the ball, and keeper has to hurry to stop that one from going out of play for a corner. Thiele wanted the throw, didn't get it. And the crayfish is in danger of sinking rather than swimming at the moment. Carstens back to Uphoff. Fanner can't quite. Get the pass right there. Axel Borgman, the captain. So a very flexible player, can play midfield, can play left back. He's played a bit of both so far this season. Last season he started at left back, ended up in midfield for the majority of the campaign. And again, a loose pass across the pitch, picked up by Maximilian Kraus. Tried to pick the pass going through, but the ball deflects to Berg, puts the ball into Harenbroek, but he can't control it. Rohrig hits it clear. Engelhardt beaten in the air. Sigurdsson, no room at all to operate for the number 10. Challenges coming in fast and furious from Hansa Rostock. King Manu forced to go back to Funk. And again, Moritz Hannemann tried to bring the ball down, no space at all. Victor Berg immediately on his case. Pelevan lays the ball off. And no space to work for Cottbus at the moment. They are being dominated in midfield. Timmy Thiele not happy with the challenge there, making contact with his foot. So yet to get going this campaign, Timmy Thiele, but once he does tend to score goals in bunches. We did the same at the start of last season, actually. Took a while to get going, then suddenly exploded into life around this time of the year. Tall Kaisergerchi goes over to have a look at this one. 3 assists for him at the weekend against Stuttgart. Didn't add to his goal tally, but he's already got 5. No need to be greedy. That's as many as Hansa Rostock have scored in throughout the whole team. Eventually whipped into the back post, just over the head of a Waterbury Grant and out for a goal kick. Looks like Uphoff going to go. Is he going to go long with this one? Yes, he is, I think. Waterbury Grant winning the header. And now a chance coming forwards. It's Mitchell Brink. Challenge slides in, misses the ball. A second one comes in from Fanner, though. That's cleared out for a throw. Defensive discipline has been good from Rostock so far. King Manu picks up the loose ball just over halfway, turns it back to Marius Funk. Waterbury Grant now. Looking for options, needs some movement in midfield. Borgman passed slightly behind him, clipped there by Neidhart, I think, and the referee agrees. Just took his left leg away there, no contact with the ball. Waterbury Grant goes long towards Taylor. He nods the ball down, but no one made the run in behind. Don't think he quite got the angle he wanted anyway. The Cottbus number 7. So he hit the halfway mark of this first half. There will be at least, 5-6 minutes added on, though, for the stoppage after the pyrotechnics that were let off at the start of the game by the home fans on our left. Rather allowed a big cloud of smoke to drift across the pitch. Virtually no wind to clear it either. Kraus dispossessed. It's not according to the rules of the game, says the referee. Now Fanner looks for options, goes for Neidhart, pops the ball back inside, but Borgman gets a foot in. Loose ball though. Falls Rostock's way. Neidhart. Ryan Naderi dropping wide to get involved. Not actually seen much of Ryan Naderi so far. Engelhardt getting in there just to put the ball out for a Rostock throw. Long ball down for Harenbrock, but his pass inside intercepted. Thiele just misjudging the bounce. Harenbrock feeds the ball on. King Manu under pressure, and the ball eventually cleared by Funk. Now Pelavan loops the ball over to that right-hand side. A collision there between Engelhardt and Berg. Immediate apology there from Eric Engelhardt. Moved here from Osnabrück in January to Derek Engelhardt. 2 goals, 2 assists in the tail end of last season. He's had a somewhat more productive start to this campaign. Say 4 goals already. Including a pair at the weekend. Well, no foul on Kraus, says the referee, after a weak clearance down in that corner. Eventually the foul does go Rostock's way, and this will be a good opportunity now from the set piece for the home side. Just the 1 goal in the other matches going on this evening at Waldorf Mannheim already. 1 goal up away to Havelse. Maska with the only goal. Now, what can Rostock produce from the set piece? They've dominated the game so far. Haven't really made any clear-cut chances since that opening 2 or 3 minutes, though. Well, they could, perhaps should have been 1 or 2 goals up already. 6 blue shirts to Waymat in the area. Takes a deflection, goes to the back post, somehow misses everyone, and goes out for a goal kick. Bit of a deflection there, took it away from the near post and then somehow missed everyone. Behind the knot of players at the front post and in front of the players at the back. Manu forced to go long. Dominant header won there by Carstens, and now Rostock coming forwards again, but a good chance coming in from a watery Grant. Now Sigurci lays the ball out to that left-hand side, but again, no space for Cottbus to operate in at the moment. Borgman cuts inside. Now he's got space in the middle and plenty of red shirts to aim at on that right-hand side. Sigurci now. Options left and right. Still Sigurci. Sigurci picks out Mitchell Brink. Mitchell Brink, his cross. Half blocked. Dietzer with the final touch as that went out for a Cottbus throw. Walkley Grant, I think, is going to go all the way back to the keeper here. No, he doesn't. Puts a nice little ball round the corner to Sigurci. And then the ball given away by Borgman. And again, chances coming forwards here. Pelavan with a vital interception. Mitchell Brink forced to turn backwards. Pelavan dropping deep. Sigurci as well, very deep at the moment. On the ball now. Rorik forced to turn inside under pressure from Berg. Oh, and a poor pass there, and all of a sudden now Harenbrock has a chance to turn and feeds the ball to Kraus. Kraus shows a little bit too much of it though to Manu. But Rorik's clearance is well blocked. Manu back on the ball again, brushes off one. Nice little ball through there as well. But again, comes to nothing for Cottbus, and Rostock immediately back on the attack again, but the ball down the channel just a little bit too far ahead of Ryan the Dairy. Manu with a rather scrappy ball forwards. Just no options really when the back four are looking to play the ball out. Even when Pelavan drops deep, there's just no space to pass into in midfield at the moment. I wonder if they need to try and go a little bit longer and just to try and cut out that midfield and get past the press. As the ball is whipped in there just ahead of Kraus. Long ball forward, Engelhardt under pressure, no fouls as the referee. I think the likes of Engelhardt and Thiele are just going to have to try and be a little bit stronger here. Yes, they're getting challenges in from behind, but the referee trying to let the game flow where possible at the moment. Again, as though the ball from Engelhardt just slightly off and slightly behind, and then all of a sudden it's Rostock back on the attack again. Berg with acres of space on that left-hand side, puts the ball in towards Naderi. Naderi gets past one, but an attempted ball across the 6-yard box, well blocked by Manu, and that'll be another Rostock corner. Still goalless, by the way, in the top of the table clash over in Saarland between Saarbrücken and Duisburg. The Zebras bouncing straight back up to the Drittliga after demotion the previous season, and they've re-arrived in the third tier in great style, unbeaten in the first 8 games. They've won 7 of them as the Rostock corner comes into the 6-yard box. Good strong header away, still not cleared and turned back over, but the ball just loops up harmlessly for Marius Funk. I think it was Timmy Thiele with the defensive header there inside his own 6-yard box. Just trying to turn that one over. Sigurci struggling to make his mark on the game at the moment, just not finding this kind of space and service that he's used to. And Klaus-Dieter Wollitz still has the skills, obviously. No foul there, the referee says. I think little nudges from behind are just not going to be given as fouls today. The players need to understand that sooner rather than later, as Pelivan tries to put that ball in for Engelhardt, but it was just behind him again. Lacking accuracy at the moment, Cottbus. Not so Rostock. Harrenbrook tries to play in Kraus down the channel. Waterby Grant across quickly. The ball spread out to Borgman on this near side. Energie Cottbus have certainly been struggling to find their game, having been rampant at the weekend. It's often the case, isn't it, after a big performance like that you struggle the next time out. And now Rostock coming forwards again, but the ball forward a little bit too close to a Waterby Grant. And the Dairy chases that one down for nothing. Of course, this is the second English week of the season already. The players will largely get a rest, though. Well, nice little layoff from Thiele. Now Borgman. Red shirts to Aymat in the middle if he so chooses, Borgman. Instead goes just on the edge of the area. Mitchell Brink across to Sigurci again, but he loses the ball under his own feet, and now an opportunity. Waterby Grant. No foul there, actually, says the referee. Definitely doing his best to let the game flow. And you have to understand that as well. I mean, it is a derby match. That the tackles will be going in fast and furious. And now Sigurci dances past one, and all of a sudden he's in on the back four. The ball deflects, still Sigurci. Couldn't get his first pass through. He's got Borgman there for support if he wants him. And, just taking too long on the ball there, Sigurci. Eventually they win a corner, but just taking he can be guilty of that sometimes, Sigurci, just taking an extra touch or two, and the game slows down. When he gets it right, though, he can be almost unplayable. There's the away fans up in that corner. They certainly like something to cheer about. Pelivan goes across to take this one. He'll swing this one in. Be the in-swinger. Six red shirts to Aymat in there. Good ball in. The keeper, though, Strong punch, shot comes back in, and it's deflected in for the opener. Moritz Hannemann in the right place at the right time. And despite being played off the pitch for large parts of the first half, Energie Cottbus take the lead. Third goal of the campaign already for Moritz Hannemann. Ball came in, good clearance out, but there was no one really covering the edge of the area. The ball laid back in. Just a little flick there on the edge of the 6-yard box. And Energie Cottbus, having produced nothing in the opening 36 minutes, somehow, against the run of play, find themselves in the lead. Well, how will Hansa Rostock respond to that then? They've struggled to score this season. I think perhaps the opening half hour of this game encapsulates their campaign perfectly. Dominant in possession, but the chances they have created, they haven't taken. Berg puts the ball in, but laid off and then cleared by the goal scorer. Mitchell Brink trying to play that one over the top, covered by Fanner. Kraus trying to get on the end of that one. Can he keep it in play? Couldn't quite wrap his foot round it. Former Cottbus player. He does have at least a goal to his name this season. Got a goal and an assist, the same game actually, against 1860 Munich. You have just this week, or after the weekend, have just sacked Patrick Gluckner. Kaja Bunnar in it as a interim coach. I suspect they'll try and fill that vacancy during the international window, if not before. But having gone unbeaten the first 5 games of the season, suddenly 3 defeats in a row, Gluckner shown the door. Mind you, with the squad he's got at his disposal there, patience is going to be pretty thin, you suspect, down in Bavaria. Nice flick on, trying to find the run of Thiele, but beaten to it by Fanner. Nice layoff. And now Kraus in behind again. Rorick covering, blocking the cross out for a corner. Looks like Kenan Fatkic, by the way, has been pushed a little bit further forward than we at first thought. Looked like he'd been pushed into a back 3, but seems to be playing more of a deep midfield role at the moment. We'll try and keep a closer eye on that one. Marco Schuster goes across to take the corner. Whips it into the near post. Fanner goes to ground. Nothing given by the referee. Nothing to give, I don't think. Schuster again, but doesn't catch that one right. The ball hassled clear. Ball whipped in again. Picked up by Neidhart. But not the best of balls in. And now Sigurci can turn and run. Sigurci, well, converged on by 2 defenders, getting the job done against the Turkish number 10. Now Schuster. Oh, that's a nice ball inside. Now Dietzer. Bring the ball over halfway. He's got support out wide right here from Neidhart. Neidhart looks up, plays the ball in early, but no one could quite get on the end of that. On a slip from Dietzer as he tried to turn. He loses the ball. And Funk is going to put his foot through this one. Engelhardt wins the free kick on halfway. Well, the injury list for Rostock is takes some shocking reading at the moment. You can see there on the right, Adrien Lebeau been out after picking up an ankle injury and subsequent surgery back on match day 3. But Dominic Lanius also out. I say Andres Vogelsammer, the summer signing from Hanover, injured in the first game of the season. Only back on the bench for the first time since tonight. Lucas Vollner as well, centre-back, out with an ankle injury since match day 3. David Hummel injured his calf at Ingolstadt on match day 3, been out since. Dario Geber as well, also picked up an injury last week. And Felix Ruschka too hasn't featured at all yet this season. So it's a patched up Hansa Rostock side. Certainly with a couple of strikers and also Adrien Lebeau, who's a big creative influence for this side, also being out of action. You can kind of understand why they've struggled to score. Oh, this is lovely approach play here. Oh, and it's the opener. It's gone through the goalkeeper's legs. And Ryan Naderi picks up his first goal of the season. It's neat play down the right-hand side. Naderi bursting onto the ball, flashing a shot across goal. It just hit the goalkeeper's ankle and went in. Lovely touch from Harenbrock, by the way. Lovely little layoff. Opened the game there. And unlucky, perhaps, for Marius Funk. So his second assist of the season for Harenbrock. In fact, his second assist in 2 games. Now, what's happened here to Benjamin Uphoff? Is that back of the knee or the hamstring? Can't be the hamstring, surely. He's a goalkeeper. Yeah, it does look like he's holding the back of his left leg. So it's rare that goalkeepers injure the hammy. You can see he's got cycle shorts on underneath the shorts there. There'll be another minute or 2 to add to the 45. It could be have what, another 7 or 8 minutes at the end of this first half at this rate. That's not a good sign, is it? If you can't push off your leg, and basically can only really dive in properly in one direction. I wonder if there might be a change of goalkeeper at half-time. But Max Hadjamoser waiting on the bench. 4 appearances last season when Uphoff was injured at the start of the campaign for 3 games. Also filled in for him when he picked up a concussion later in the campaign. Bench only this campaign, though. Finally back underway. Uphoff seems to be moving okay at the moment. That might stiffen up at half-time, though, so we'll keep an eye out. 10 minutes to be added at the end of this first half. Not surprising. Let's say we lost 6 or 7 minutes just with the stoppage for the smoke that drifted across the pitch after all the pyrotechnics were let off at the start of the game by the home fans on our left as we look at it on the camera. Thiele and Engelhardt trying to win the bouncing ball down that left-hand side. I mean, still despite the goal, Cottbus really producing nothing in open play at the moment. Simply can't get a handle on the game. All Hansa Rostock. And Pelevan giving the foul away. Another opportunity here for Rostock from the set piece. And a yellow card for Borgman, I suspect, for opening his mouth a little bit too wide. It's his first booking of the campaign, actually. Pelevan with the challenge, but it looked like he got the ball before the man. And Borgman just needs to be a little bit careful. He's got a yellow card. He doesn't want to overstep the mark here and get another one. Not a happy man, Axel Borgman. So free kick on the right. Swung in by Schust, a better delivery this time, headed across goal rather than away. Now Pelevan picks up on the loose ball. He's got Rorik in front of him, but runs straight into the Rostock player. So now space over on this near side, nicely brought down by Sigurci. Sigurci now cuts inside one. Support over on the right from Rorik. We know he's got a shot from distance if he wants it. Now clipped in, headed away though from near the penalty spot. Mitchell Brink gets the ball back in there. Sigurci with the header, but there's no one running in behind, and that goes harmlessly through to Uphoff. Oh, Pelevan looks like he's taken a knock on the calf. Going to be adding on to the 10 minutes at the end of this first half at this rate. Goals starting to flow elsewhere. Erzberger Auer have taken the score. Foulman, the goal scorer in the 34th minute there, away to Alemannia Aachen. The Potato Beetles up against it there on home turf. Still no goals in the Stuttgart against Wehen Wiesbaden match, and perhaps more importantly, in the top of the table clash between Saarbrücken and Duisburg. So it'll be another 1 or 2 minutes. There's Merve Biancardi, more or less centre of picture there. Now, is that just a knock, or is it anything worse there for Pelevan? Didn't see him go down, so I don't know if it was a tweaked muscle or a clash. Mitchell Brink picks up the loose ball. Sigurci back to Mitchell Brink again. Now Rorik over on the right-hand side. Looks inside for options, finds a Waterby Grant on halfway. Pelevan back on the pitch. Now Borgman, back to Pelevan again. This is probably the most passes they've put together in the entire first half, you know, Energie Cottbus. Funk goes long. Thiele trying to hold the ball up. Cleared off his toes by Dietze. Borgman takes the throw. Thiele tries to get the ball in towards Engelhardt. He's battling for the ball there on the edge of the area, but offside flag goes up against the number 18. It's not been an easy start to the season for Daniel Brinkman. So all those injuries, that's half the team out pretty much. He's certainly getting a tune out of his first 11 today. Here's Kraus now on this near side. Goes down, nothing given by the referee. Maybe a knock to the shin. No, he's moved his hand to his foot now, changed his mind. Cleared long. Nothing doing for Engelhardt in the air. Now Sigurdsson on halfway, trying to pick out Borgman in space, but that ball just a bit too far ahead of the left back. Now Watery Grant has to chase back and has to take the safe option with Kraus bearing down on him. Ball comes back inside. Dietz now in behind in space, gets down to the byline, looks up. Cuts back inside. Now Kraus can try and flip one across. He gets that all wrong. Apologies to his teammates there from Maximilian Kraus. Just trying to float that one up to the back post, but got the contact all wrong. Speaking of contact, Hanneman going down for a free kick there. Eight minutes into the 10 and probably more added on at the end of this first half. So a good 3-4 minutes, I think, still to play here. Oregon Sigurdsson as ever discussing their options over the ball. And a couple of false runs there. The ball eventually comes in from Rorik. Headed away, and there's no one on the edge of the area to try and pick up the rebound. And now perhaps an opportunity on the counter-attack, and Rorik had to be quickly back there to get his foot in. Now Kraus just stayed onside. Rorik again with an important foot. In fact, the offside flag did go up. It looked tight. Perhaps Kraus really should have been able to stay onside there. Goes long, headed back across. Horner, bit of a handball. Didn't do much about that though. Hit against his arm from close range, but advantage gained. I mean, that really is from point blank range. The argument would be he shouldn't have his arms out like that in the first place, and a slip then again from the same player. Dietz, Neidhart. Harenbrock. Schuster plays the ball across, goes all the way back now to Carstens. Harenbrock trying to turn on the ball, but nice interception there from King Manu. And now all of a sudden, on the counter-attack, Timmy Thiele has to slightly check his run. Got Fanner all over him. Again, some of the Cottbus players here just guilty of going down a little bit easy at times. Well, the referee decides that's enough time added on at the end of this first half here at the Oshchi Stadion. And well, Energie Cottbus backed against the wall for most of that first half, took the lead completely against the run of play. Moritz Hanneman turning in from close range after a corner was only cleared as far as the edge of the area. Lucas Mitchellbrink taking the shot. It was going on target and it was deflected past the keeper, Hanneman. Rainer Deary then with the equaliser in the 42nd minute for Hansa Rostock, a goal they certainly deserved after their approach play. And a half-time here at the Oshchi Stadion. It's Hansa Rostock 1, Energie Cottbus 1. Well, welcome back then to the Energie Stadion. It's 1-1 at half-time here in this East German derby between Hansa Rostock and Energie Cottbus here on the north coast of Germany, overlooking the Baltic Sea. Energie Cottbus really not at the races in that first half. Somehow grabbed the opening goal through Moritz Hannemann following a corner, but really did very little in open play in the opening 45, completely bossed in midfield. Hansa Rostock producing by far the better play. Should have taken the lead early. A couple of chances not quite taken advantage of, with Cedric Harenbrock and Kenan Fatkic guilty of wasting early chances. They did, though, get back on level terms through Ryan Naderi with a beautifully worked goal down the right-hand side. Lovely little flicked pass from Harenbrock for that one, for his second assist of the season. First goal of the campaign, by the way, for Naderi. So, no changes that we're aware of anyway made at half-time. Looks like Benjamin Uphoff, who appeared to pick up some sort of hamstring tweak near the end of that first half, is good to carry on in the second period. So Cedric Harenbrock gets us underway for the second half here at the Energie Stadion. Rostock, Hansa Rostock, that is, the home side in blue, kicking from right to left in this second half. Hoping for no repeat of the pyrotechnics before the start of the first half, which caused a huge delay of the game. The ball is whipped in, but simply sails out for a goal kick. What have Cottbus got for us then in the second half, because they surely can't play as badly as they did in the first 45, or 55 actually, as it was, with the 10 minutes added on. All laid off there, and now all of a sudden Mitchell Brink with the ball across, and Timmy Thiele can turn on to this one. Puts a nice ball in just over the head of Engelhardt. Sigurci winning the ball high up the pitch now. Struggled to get into the game in the first half, just simply didn't find the space. So he can be guilty sometimes of holding the ball onto the ball just a little bit too long. And here's Pelivan. Oh, and Sigurci's made the run through, a little bit lacking on pace on the pass. And eventually Uphoff can come across and fall onto that one gratefully. Just needed a little bit more on that through ball there, and Sigurci would have been in behind. Now Dietzer. Dietzer again. Can't quite find the run from Neidhart. Foul given for the challenge on Engelhardt. Former Hansa Rostock player, in fact, is Engelhardt. One of 5 players in this squad, in fact, that used to play for Hansa Rostock. Sigurci lifts the ball in, headed away. In comes the follow-up, and wow! Axel Borgman hit an absolute screamer there, pushed away by Uphoff. But boy, oh boy, did he catch hold of that one from outside the area. Lovely technique on the left foot. Now Borgman again puts the ball in. Nice turn on the ball, but just taken off the toes of Hanneman. And all of a sudden, Cottbus now putting the squeeze on at the start of this second half. Sigurci. Still Sigurci. Needs to find a pass. Doesn't want to do that on his right foot, though. For all his skills, can be a little bit one-footed at times. Now Hanneman gets down to the byline, puts the ball back. This will be curled in. Lots of red shirts to aim at. Headed away. On the volley was Pelevan. Half-headed away again. Nice ball. Lobbed in by Mitchellbrink. Half-headed away and eventually put out for a throw. Well, Cottbus applying pressure early in the second half here. I'm sure Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, despite the scoreline, would have been quite vocal in his criticism, perhaps, at half-time of his misfiring team. Here's a Wortby Grant now. Back to Mitchellbrink again. Crossfield ball, looking for space that they couldn't find in the first half. Nicely laid down by Borgman and nearly first time pass cutting through the defence, but now an opportunity with Harenbrock. And Kraus, he's got the legs in the Wortby Grant, Kraus. Checks, makes himself a little bit of space, runs into the area, Kraus, and it's just wide. Intelligent play there from Kraus. Knew he wouldn't actually manage to get all the way on the outside. Tried to curl that one into the top corner. Nearly got it right. Here's the earlier chance. Borgman, lovely technique. Woof. Didn't have to be all that far wide. They're travelling at that pace. Just as well, the keeper was well placed. That could have been 2-1. Already scored one goal this season, Axel Borgman. He'd have loved to get another one here. Poor ball out, though, from Manu. Kraus lays the ball off. Oh, and now here comes Fatkic. Fatkic in behind. Blue shirts coming up in support. Oh, brilliant interception from a Wortby Grant. It was his poor pass that put Rostock in behind. And he made up for his own mistake there for number 23. Fatkic it was who broke the lines. A corner taken quickly. Schuster to Fatkic. Cuts inside Hanneman. That deflects out for a corner. Both teams going for it early in this second half. Another look at the chance here. And Naderi would surely have made it 2-1 if the Wortby Grant hadn't made that interception. Now, Florian Carstens does have a long throw on him. Into the near post. Manu with the touch, and that's behind for a corner. Lots of blue shirts in and around the penalty area. Good delivery to the back post. Oh, fantastic save. And then the follow-up blocked as well. Dietzer it was at the back post. With the follow-up. Brilliant save, though, from Marius Funk. So he had to grab that ball out from behind himself. Ball whipped in. Naderi it was with the header. Reflexes from Funk. Good chances at both ends of the pitch already in the early part of this second half. A bit of head tennis going on there, eventually put out to play by Pelevan. Berg. Kraus, got a little bit of space here to run at Rorik. Kraus puts the ball back inside to Fatkic. Fatkic lays it off to Berg, puts the ball into the front post, deflects across, picked up now by Neidhart. Neidhart's cross also deflects off of Borgman. And now the shot comes in. Oh, brilliant save again from Funk, and it's just landed on the top of the net. Bouncing ball laid off by Naderi. Lovely shot going in the top corner, and just enough of a fingertip from Funk to keep that ball out. Two great saves from Marius Funk in the last couple of minutes. This derby really starting to heat up now. Corner comes in. Naderi not quite getting the contact he wanted on the header, and that's easy enough for Funk to gather. Plays it out short. Sakirchi again. Wriggling, looking for space. Mitchell Brink goes down, no foul given. Now the ball back with Pelivan. Well, a couple of smokers have been let off at the home end on the left at the start of the second half, but not enough to get the game stopped at least. Oh, plenty of action over at Havelsa at the start of the second half there. The hosts already behind to a Masker opener in the 11th minute, then went two down with Lerkemper finding the net to make it 2-0 to Mannheim, but then immediately struck back Posselt with the goal. So 2-1 to Mannheim on the road at Havelsa at the moment. Elsewhere, still goalless between Saarbrücken and Duisburg, and also Stuttgart 2 and Wehen Wiesbaden. Waldorf Mannheim leading 2-1 away to Havelsa and Ergerberger Auer, with what has been described to me as a goal from a different division, leading 1-0 away to Alamina Aachen. So that's a little highlight worth looking up a little bit later. All clipped over the top, looking for Kraus to get in behind Manu. Lovely ball through the lines, but the offside flag up. Again, Cedric Harenbrook trying to decide if both coaches will be happy with the way their teams have been attacking at the start of this second half, or unhappy with the way the defending has been going down. Well, Mitchell Brink forced backwards, and it looks like the Rostock bench is readying themselves here. Sorry, the Cottbus bench, I beg your pardon. Certainly looked like Can Mustafa was readying himself to come on now. Dietzer. Oh, Dietzer bursts through the lines. Nice ball inside. Great chance in. Naderi has his shot blocked. A Waterbury Grant, I think it was. Berg cuts inside. Still Berg. Going all the way here, Berg, is he? Eventually goes to ground. No penalty given. The ball into the hands of Funk. Just seemed to lose his balance as he tricked his way through. Lovely run, though, from Victor Berg. Swedish wing-back cutting inside with great effect there. Manu with the long ball forward, looking for Thiele. So flicked on by a defender all the way through to Uphoff. He doesn't appear to be showing any bad signs after he appeared to do something to his hamstring in the first half. His left hamstring, that is. Little bit of space now for Neidhart. Turns the ball inside to Dietze. Carstens forced all the way back to Uphoff. Engelhardt supplying the pressure. Interception from a Watery Grant stepping into midfield, but then the ball inside to Sigurdsson. Also intercepted by Harenbroek. Now Berg. Plays a nice 1-2, then Manu with the intercept as he tried to play that ball through to the run of Kraus. Nicely laid off for Pelivan. Now Naderi. Naderi through for Berg, who's coming in off his flank a lot at the start of this second half. Now Mitchellbrink, I think, kicked that ball into his own standing foot. Definitely can Mustafa, the Syrian, about to come on. Fanner pings the ball out to Neidhart on the right-hand side. Neidhart with the cross. A Watery Grant clears from the near post. Borgman. His clearance. Half intercepted as well. And a bit like the first half here. Cottbus struggling to get out of their own half at the moment. Timmy Thiele there urging his team to push up higher. Now Dietze. Well dealt with by a Watery Grant. In fact, the foul going Cottbus's way. So both benches emptying here. Jonas Dirkner and Emil Hulten. Coming on for Rostock. Well, Dirkner in for Dietze, I think. Justin Butler and Can Mustafa coming on for Cottbus. Cottbus trying to come forward here. Confirmation that Timmy Thiele taken off for Justin Butler. So Thiele not looking fully fit, I have to say. Doesn't seem to have the usual sharpness. Sigurdsson tries to cut in onto his left foot, and the pass intercepted by Fatkic. Nice play from the number 4. Maybe a chance on the counter-attack here. Kraus tries to spread the play over to the right-hand side. Oh, and well, no foul given, in fact allowed to continue here, and they're in behind. Rostock. Another great save from Funk, coming quickly off his line to deny Hulten with his first touch. And Hulten then gives away the foul over on that far side. The challenge on Mustafa. The yellow card there for a walk to be granted. I think for an earlier challenge in that move. That challenge, in fact. Referee doing well, actually, to allow play to continue because Rostock were right in behind there. Shot comes in, but from Mustafa, but deflects and picked up by Uphoff. Ryan Naderi confirmed as the man withdrawn. Had a couple of great chances early in this second half, but Daniel Brinkman deciding to give the Danish striker Emil Holten the opportunity instead. Funk clears the ball long. Butler unable to latch on to the pass. And a Kraus. Jonas Dirkner also coming on for Hansa Rostock, the 23-year-old defensive midfielder. Just a lot of last season with a torn cruciate ligament, but back to fitness now. Nice, neat play there from Rostock in midfield, creating the space and the ball through. Caroming off of Harenbrock. Not sure it was actually meant for the number 8, you know, given the pace it was played at. Still space over on the right side for Neidhart. Neidhart cutting inside, goes past a couple of challenges, puts in the shot, blocked. Dirkner tries to trick his way into the area as well. Oh, and the foul goes against Mustafa, who thought he got the ball. And this is in a very dangerous spot. Well, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure the referee got that one right. He's clearly got the ball without getting the man. Fatkic making the most of it. Well, midway through the second half, and Cottbus with a flurry of chances right at the start of this second period, but Rostock roaring back into it. Could easily have been 1 or 2 goals up if it hadn't been for some fantastic goalkeeping from Marius Funk. Reflexes to the max. Now then, Fatkic and Harenbrock standing over this one. Mitchell Brink as the sweeper. Oh, Schuster's come over as well to join the conversation. It's a proper old board meeting, this, isn't it? Looks like Fatkic might have won the conversation. The ball comes in, well, after all that, bit of a waste. Rostock just dropping back into position. Sigurci loses his footing trying to turn. Not been the number 10's day, has it? Tolkai Sigurci. And when it works for him, it's fantastic, but occasionally, not so much. It's rather calm goalkeeping there from up off to get that ball to Carstens. Now Fanner on the opposite flank. Brings the ball over halfway. Long ball cleared, but no real chance for Butler to get on the end of that one. Mitchell Brink plays the ball out wide, but again, the challenge just snapping in immediately from the Rostock midfield and defence. Engelhardt dropping deep, doing well to recycle the ball. The pressure high up the pitch here from Hansa Rostock. Funk goes long. Well, the flick on from Butler, but no one able to make the run in behind. Long ball over the top, just a bit too much on it for Holton to get excited about. Now Borgman plays the ball inside to Pelivan. Manu. Now Rorik. Rorik back inside to Pelivan. Nice little 1-2 with Engelhardt. Now needs more options. Options turning up on the left-hand side. The ball played into Engelhardt, and that's 2-1. '71st minute, Cottbus into the lead for the second time. And it's Eric Engelhardt with his 5th goal of the campaign. That seemed almost too easy, didn't it? They just cut straight through. Maybe they'd lulled the Rostock defence into a false sense of security because they hadn't been producing much like that throughout the first 70 minutes of this game. Musfa making the run. And Engelhardt just checking his run, putting the ball back behind the goalkeeper. Perfect striker's finish. 5 goals for him now this campaign. And the first assist of the campaign as well for the substitute, Kan Cholkai. Well, sometimes good teams get the job done even when they don't play well. And at the moment, that's what Cottbus appear to be doing. Perhaps helped by Rostock's inability to finish their chances. Came into the game with just 5 goals this season. That's the same as Schweinfurt at the bottom of the table. Tolkai Sigurci has 5 just on his own this season for Cottbus. Now the press coming higher up from Cottbus here. Pelivan gets his foot in. Now Mustafa. Try to pick out Sigurci. Berg under pressure. Digs the ball out. Pelivan chests it down nicely. Is that ball going to stay on the pitch or not? Yes, it has been kept in by Butler. Berg under pressure. This time plays the ball down the line. Manu with the intercept. Sigurci now. Gets past Berg. Ball in towards Engelhardt. Schuster comes across, puts it behind for a corner. Meanwhile, absolutely raining goals in Hervelsa. Having gone 2-0 down for Selt and Belkar here. Got Hervelsa on level terms, but only for about a minute before Chipnowski. But Mannheim back into the lead. Meanwhile, Sigurci with the corner, goes for the back post. There's going to be a retake. Keep the referee wanting a word with Manu and Fatkic, who are clashing there at the back post. The referee must have blown his whistle before Sigurci took that corner. Sigurci, take two. Goes to the back post. Manu nearly getting on the end of it. Neidhart now helps the ball away. Kraus trying to chase onto it. Butler to Sigurci. Plays that into the edge of the area. Butler now picks up the loose ball after a slight deflection. Engelhardt can't get past Berg. Runs into a blue wall, rather. Now Schuster plays the ball out to the right. Neidhart. Back to Fanner. Carstens. That's better to Fatkic. Berg providing width on the left here for Rostock. Back into Fatkic. Berg again. Fatkic. Now Fatkic with options in front of goal. Oh, great opportunity this for Schuster, and another great save from Funk. Lovely play from Hansa Rostock. One and two touch passing. Fatkic picking the pass beautifully. Funk already off his line as that pass was played. Great stuff from the goalkeeper. Remember, he's only brought in as an injury replacement this season after Elias Bethke got injured very early in the campaign with a ruptured Achilles tendon. Nasty injury that. Could be out for the rest of the campaign. Funk was the keeper at Ingolstadt, but fell out of favour around about January. His contract not renewed this summer, found himself out of a job until arriving here in September. And he's certainly taken the opportunity that's been handed to him. Mitchell Brink with a loose touch. Dirkner cuts inside. Fanner puts the ball back out wide. Schuster now tried to cut inside, but Borgman got in the way, put the ball behind for a corner. Harenbrook with the corner. Not been cleared, still hasn't been cleared. Kraus on the turn. Ball still bobbling around in the air, and for some reason the Cottbus defence decided to let that one bounce through to the keeper. Now maybe an opportunity on the counter-attack. Sigurci now. Space opening up here for Cottbus. Fatkic across quickly, and even managing to win the throw. More changes here then, as Kraus comes off. Tim Krohn comes on, as does Paul Stock. Cedric Harenbrook, the other man, withdrawn. So refreshing their options up front here, Energie Cottbus. Berg hits the ball to Stock. King Manu there with a nice bit of defending. So he turns around to celebrate that with his home fan, with the away fans rather, in that top corner. Another change for Energie Cottbus as Anderson Lukuki comes on. That should see Axel Borgman push up into midfield, I would expect. Watery Grant putting the ball out there. 10 minutes to go here. Cottbus defending a 2-1 lead in a game in which, through large parts of it, they've been very much second best. Long throw comes in, headed across goal. And headed away from the 6-yard box. Carstens takes control. Nice turn from the centre-back. Plays a 1-2 as well, Carstens. Now Stock. Goes past Pellevant, Stock still going forwards and goes down on the edge of the area too easily, says the referee. Told to get up. And now there's space in behind to be played with. Here comes Butler. Needs some support, does the number 31. Turns back. Picks out Sigurci. And Sigurci's pass goes to a blue shirt. Oh, lovely turn from Dirkner. But then Sigurci picking up on the ball. Plays a slightly underweight pass out there for Lukoki. Tim Crone on the case. Engelhardt couldn't quite win the ball in the air. Crone managed to squeak a ball through to Dirkner. Lucas Mitchellbrink, by the way, the man withdrawn, so Borgman moves up into midfield. Lukoki slots in at left back for Energie Cottbus. Justin Butler wins himself a foul there under pressure. Another change coming in, so Kenan Fatkic comes off, and here's a first glimpse of summer signing Andreas Vogelsammer. So he made his debut at Erzgebirge on match day 1, been out with a calf injury since this is return to action. Risks now being taken by the Hansa Rostock coach. Cottbus trying to push a little higher up the pitch now. Fanner brings the ball forward. Dirkner drops deep. Lofts one towards this near side. Berg keeping the ball in play and in fact doing well to pick up his own rebound as well. Vogelsammer puts the ball into the area. Lukoki gets a foot on it, and now Mustafa accelerating over halfway. Mustafa comes inside one, but the touch is slightly heavy. And Fanner comes across. Cottbus will be dangerous on the counter-attack now. They've got the speedsters out there. Now Fanner plays a 1-2 with Dirkner, finds himself in the right back position. Puts a nice looking ball in as well. Well defended. Pellevant helps it away. Dirkner again puts another ball in, headed away this time by Waterby Grant. Now then, Butler put the pedal to the metal here. There's 4 red shirts coming forward. Engelhardt pulling up slightly, actually. Oh, that's a poor pass from Butler. Well, Mustafa goes down looking for a free kick he was never going to get. He needs to get back up again. Now Berg. Lots of space for him on this near side. Cottbus defending narrow at the moment. Bergelshammer. His cross takes the deflection, smashed out of play by King Manu. Schuster gets the ball back in play quickly. Hansa Rostock running out of time here. Dirkner. Well, his pass doesn't find its target. Pelevan has to quickly get out of the way. Long ball from Butler looking for Sigurdsson on this near side. He's got Berg for company. Well, I think Sigurdsson really needs to try and move the ball on quicker. He's just holding on to it too long. He's done that throughout the evening. Now Mustafa gets the free kick given against him. Challenge going in on Krohn. So then, Schuster with the free kick. Lots of blue shirts forward for this one. Everyone behind the ball for Cottbus. Ball goes into the near post. Funk eventually gets there. I think there's an offside flag gone up anyway. Funk just encouraging his teammates to push out. This is no time to be playing the ball short out of the back if you're Energie Cottbus. Nerves in the Energie Cottbus technical area as they try to hold on to this lead. Mustafa goes past one. The referee waves play on. And that is going to be a Cottbus corner. Gold dust for the Crayfishes. Either way, it's finished at 0-0, by the way, between Stuttgart 2 and Wehen Wiesbaden. Still Saarbrücken Duisburg 0-0 in the 90th minute there. Waldorf Mannheim holding on to a 3-2 lead at Hervelsa. And there's Bergerauer still 1-0 up away to Aachen. What would be a big win for them after a poor start to the season. Now Sigurdsson to take the corner. Lots of movement in the area. Swings it into the near post, half flicked on, goes out for another corner. And this is all seconds coming off the clock for Energie Cottbus. So it's not quite late enough in the game to just keep the ball down by the corner flag. Is he going to go a little bit deeper this time? Yes, he does. Oh, Carstens with the header taken away from Butler. Krohn picks up the loose ball. Tries to pass the ball back inside, but goes to a red shirt. Mustafa. We have Borgman outside him. Sigurdsson picks it up. Sigurdsson jinks left, right. Eventually goes for the shot and took a deflection and nearly looped over the keeper. Uphoff, though, on his toes. Now Rostock's turn to try and drive forward. No real time for niceties now. Borgman picking up the loose header. Butler with his back to goal. There's the ball taken away from him by Fanner. his former Dortmund teammate. That ball not put out, and a chance here for Krohn, and it just bobbles over the crossbar. Cottbus just couldn't clear their lines here. Walkley Grant thought he put it out for a corner. Driven back in across goal. Henry Rohrig doing enough to put off Krohn. So into the final minute. Energie Cottbus would love to take all 3 points here. Move them to within 6 points of the Dritte Liga summit if they can do it. With a Duisburger on line to drop points for only the second time this season. Still unbeaten, but they're 0-0 at the moment away to Saarbrücken, who would only be 1 point ahead of Cottbus as things stand. More games to go, of course, tomorrow night as well in this English week. Now, what's going on here? By my calculations, already been 4 substitutes made by Rostock. Oh, sorry, of course it's Energie Cottbus making the substitutions. Ignore me. So Merve Biancardi looks like he's going to come on for just his second appearance after arriving here, having been out of contract. "19 goals and 7 assists across 2 seasons for Arminia Bielefeld before being shown the door in the summer, as Pelavan now prepares to take the free kick. Only 4 red shirts to aim at in the area, and the shot from Biancardi. What a first touch that would have been. Loitering by the edge of the D. Nearly made it 3-1 here in second half stoppage time. That ball bouncing out of control. Neidhart with the ball forward. Ted Tatamush, by the way, coming on for Sigurci, who'd been pretty ineffectual today. Just the way things roll with the Turkish number 10. Dirkner wins a free kick there. Just a little tug of the shirt as he tried to sachet his way through midfield. Now Berg losing the ball. Butler digs the pass out. Borgman puts the ball on to Mustafa. 3-1. And for the second time this season, Can Mustafa taking advantage of a team chasing the game at the end of the 90. He did exactly the same earlier this season at Schweinfurt in second half stoppage time, and he's repeated the trick here. Rostock with no choice but to players forward, taking risks at the back. Can Mustafa taking advantage of his second goal of the season in acres of space over there on the right hand side. Tight on the offside decision against Borgman. And despite the keeper coming off his line, Mustafa managing to force that one into the back of the net. It's a 3-1 Cottbus, as it was here last season, back on match day 37. And that surely is now that. Second half goals from Eric Engelhardt and Can Mustafa appear to have Made the 3-point save for a strangely off-colour Energie Cottbus for most of this game in this East German derby. Hansa Rostock will feel robbed after the performance they've put in and the chances they've created. Another chance nearly popping up there as well, but the foul going for the challenge on Manu, who looks like he's landed awkwardly on his shoulder. Fana with the header. Mustafa's gone down, asking for attention. Borgman carries on. Mustafa still asking for attention and still being ignored. And now the ball in behind, an opportunity here for Hansa Rostock. Can they get the ball back? No, they can't. Well, Vogelsammer muscled his way in behind, just couldn't quite get the shot off. The ball just not quite coming down for him. And with that, the referee has decided to bring the game to an end. So Hansa Rostock, having dominated huge swathes of the game, losing out here. Moritz Hannemann with the opening goal completely against the run of play for Cottbus in the first half. Ryan Naderi deservedly getting one back for Rostock just before the break. Chances at both ends then at the start of the second half, but it was Eric Engelhardt who made it 2-1 for Energie Cottbus in the 71st minute, set up by Can Mustafa, and then Mustafa himself popping up in acres of space deep into second half stoppage time to make it 3-1. A goal and an assist for the substitute. Energie Cottbus confirm themselves as third place in the Dritte Liga table, and they've won here at the Osti Stadion. It's finished. Hansa Rostock 1, Energie Cottbus 3.